It's a hockey night in St. Louis and a young goalie matchup with Malcolm Subban and Jake Allen in net. And it's also a center showdown between Patrice Bergeron and David Backes. The Blues host the Bruins. You'll see it right now on Fox Sports Midwest. 25 games left for the Blues. There's no looking back. It's full steam ahead as the Note hope to play their best hockey heading into the postseason. That starts tonight as they welcome in the Boston Bruins here to Scottrade Center. And it's a game you'll see right now on Fox Sports Midwest. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Scottrade, and welcome to Blues Hockey on Fox Sports Midwest. I'm Pat Paris. Well, since January 2nd, the Blues have been one of the top teams in the National Hockey League, going 15-3-1, but that sometimes gets lost after a frustrating loss like 3 nights ago. So the Blues will try to return to that winning form tonight as they welcome in a desperate hockey club in the Boston Bruins. For the call, let's bring in John Kelly and Darren Pang. Guys?
All right, Pat, thank you very much. I expect a fierce battle tonight, Pat. As you said, the Blues are coming off a flat effort against Dallas, and the Boston Bruins, a team that won the Cup a couple of years ago, Darren, they are winless in their last 5 games.
Yeah, the Boston Bruins are a very, very desperate club. 8 points out of a playoff spot now. Relinquished a 3-0 lead in Calgary, trailed 3-1 against Edmonton in the last game, and stormed back to at least get it to a shootout. But they're an awfully good hockey club that have had a lot of players with a lot of playoff experience, including winning the Stanley Cup.
Well, this game could be decided up the middle between David Backes and Patrice Bergeron. They will see a lot of each other tonight, Darren.
Well, funny, isn't it? 2 great defensive centermen are also 2 catalysts on the offensive side of the puck, and that's what makes this one always an interesting matchup. You'll also see Jay Bouwmeester and Alex Pietrangelo back together, so they will get the assignment as well of seeing Brad Marchand, Bergeron, and Riley Smith. Bergeron, such an intelligent 2-way center iceman. He's good on the face-off dot. Both these players are right-hand shots, going head-to-head on the face-off dots. For David Backes, and obviously his line of Alex Steen and TJ Oshie, they're just a well-rounded line that they can do everything, and if it becomes a physical battle, you know that David Backes plays his best in those areas of the ice as well. So, but you're right, John, when you talk about the flat game and the way that they did not compete against Dallas, the Blues have always been a team that responds well. That's why I expect them to be really prepared early on in this hockey game.
And we have a matchup and goal of a couple of youngsters. Jake Allen has won 5 in a row, and he'll be opposed by Malcolm Subban, the younger brother of PK, making his NHL debut tonight.
Yeah, just recently the American Hockey League Player of the Week. He had a slow start to the season, but recently he's really tightened things up. He went 10-10-3 with Providence of the American Hockey League and a 2.47 goals against average. You're going to find that Malcolm Subban is an extremely agile and gifted goaltender. He's a good puck handler. He'll do the splits like any world champion gymnast, and it'll hurt when you watch him go post to post because he is a flexible guy.
Well, he said this morning his favorite goalie is Henrik Lundqvist of the Rangers. He hopes he plays like Lundqvist tonight. The Bruins are in town as the Blues look to step back into the win column after a tough loss against the Dallas Stars. These clubs met back in November in Beantown, and the Bruins won 2-0. The rematch is next at Scottrade. St. Louis Blues Hockey is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. In, up, fix, out, Dobbs does it all. Get great offers on 2015 Chevy models. Find new roads at your Mid-America Chevrolet dealer. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. As the Blues continue their 4-game homestand tonight, an original 6-team in town, the Boston Bruins. And our top starting goaltender, Jake Allen, has not lost in the new year. He has won his last 5. He'll be opposed by the 21-year-old rookie, Malcolm Subban, the Bruins' first-round pick in 2012, making his NHL debut. And for the Blues, it is Steen, Backes, and Oshie against the Bruins' top line of Marchand, Bergeron, and Smith. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Oh, right off the hop, Dennis Seidenberg steps up, and a big hit there on Jay Bouwmeester right in front of me here between the benches. Big hit.
And now the Bruins send it back of the goal for Seidenberg. And the German feeds Marchand. Now on to Bergeron. Right up the middle. And a bouncer turned to the corner by Allen. And then Marchand for the wing. His shot blocked by Bouwmeester. Paired again tonight with Pietrangelo. And that's lobbed in deep by Oshie. And Bartkowski back to get it. Now on the near wing for Riley Smith. Here's Allen. Plays that one. Oh, Tarasenko almost bounced that off the end towards back in front. But then Gunnarsson to center ice for Laterra. Now the Bruins get it. And Chris Kelly. He winds it around. Gunnarsson against Soderberg. Back on the line. Hamilton has it for the Bruins. And his shot well wide off the mark. And now Tarasenko.
Laterra does a real good job of getting the shooting lane the whole time on young Dougie Hamilton right there. There is no area in the world for Hamilton to get that towards the net. So good position in there. And it was interesting when Laterra does that. JK covers his mouth as he's going out there, covers his face with his glove a little bit. Stick in front, doesn't want something deflecting up there and hitting in the triplets.
You got to protect those teeth. Now the Blues at the line, don't clear it. And then Ian Cole knocks down the rookie, the 18-year-old David Pastrnak, and he will get a penalty here.
Well, Pasternak's he's a light player, young player at only 18, and obviously in that one-handed little corkscrew right there, not the right way to play against a guy that is light like that on his skates.
Said it was 28 minutes for hooking.
A little hooking call, and right off the hop, the penalty kill will go to work, but you can't reach like that. You can't reach out. I don't know why that would cause this young first-round draft pick, though, to go down. I mean, all it was one-handed play in the hands. It shouldn't have caused him to fall down.
So the Bruins get an early power play. Here's Krejci back for Hamilton. And now on for Torrey Krug. Hamilton. They play catch out high. Hamilton again. Now Krejci on the half boards to Bergeron, a one-timer. And that was partially blocked by Steen. And now the Bruins, Louis Eriksson to the line. And a shot blocked by Bouwmeester as Krejci couldn't get it through the big defenseman. And now Krejci gets it again. In the slot, a drive by Bergeron on goal. And a save again by Allen.
That's a good setup right there.
Bruins power play is ranked 20th at 17.6%. And a good stick there in the lane by Backes to tip it back down the ice. And the Bruins reload at center ice. Krug in for Krejci. And he is forced back to his own line by Oshie. And now Krug gets it again for Lucic. And the Vancouver native charges to the corner. Now back on the line for Smith. To the big captain, Chara. Smith for Chara, the shot blocked in front by Jackman Stick. And now Jackman tips it. It comes in front, but right there is Oshie, and he sails it down the ice. Now the Bruins to center ice. 33 to go in Coles Minor. And the Bruins go in offside.
Well, good start there for Jake Allen in goal. And, of course, Jake Allen made 15 of 16 saves in relief. As we see this first play, Bouwmeester goes down. It looks like it was a half shot, half play over there to Eriksson on the far side of the post. Never gets through. Good setup here with Bergeron right in the middle of the ice. A little bit of the hub of the wheel right there, and got himself in a real good position. But the Blues with a good start on the penalty kill so far. And amazingly, the Boston Bruins, with what they've got on the table on the road, that power play not very good at only 12%, JK.
Yeah, that's 27th on the road. And Darren, in the last 5 games in the season series, neither team has a power play goal. And the Blues clear it down the ice, and that should just about do it.
And Malcolm Subban touches the puck for the first time in the game. First NHL game, always exciting. Thought that he might be playing in the last game against Edmonton. But after losing that game in Calgary, management and coaches decided to go to the veteran, Tuukka Rask.
And they lost in Edmonton in a shootout, 4-3. The shootout went 12 rounds. Bruins had one shot on the power play. And this is funneled in deep by Schwartz. He goes after it along with Laterra and now Tarasenko. Tip to the corner, Chara there. And the big defenseman from Slovakia to McQuaid. And up the wing, Cole trying to hold it in. Campbell gets it out for Boston. On the far wing now for Jordan Caron. And the Bruins make a change. The Blues follow suit with the Backes line. Here's Schwartz. Gets away from Smith. And then tipped in deep by Backes. He pressures Seidenberg. Nice play in front of Steen, but at the last second, Bartkowski broke it up. And now Matt Bartkowski pulls up in the slot for Smith. He'll tip one to the corner. Now Marchand back on the line. Bartkowski barely kept it in. Seidenberg a drive, and that looked like it went off Bergeron in front. And now Bouwmeester gets it back to the Blues. And along for Oshie. Now the Blues, Pietrangelo. Back to center ice for Oshie. Bruins have the only 2 shots so far. Now Krug around for Seidenberg. The Blues healthy scratches tonight. Lindstrom, Butler, and Porter. So Chetkirk is the lone Blues player on IR. And now it is Yashkin. Picked up by Berglund. He scored the Blues' lone goal the other night. A shot by Berglund wide. And now kept in by Petteri Lindbom. And the rookie from Finland in front of Yashkin. And he lost the handle at the last second. And Eriksson back to get it for Boston.
And that short-lived experiment of having Stastny with Tarasenko and Schwartz in that last game lasted 5 or 6 shifts against Dallas. Wasn't clicking. And then, as we see now, back to where it has been.
Now Gotch into the zone for Ott. He is tracked down by Chris Kelly. Kelly goes down. And Gotch trying to pry it free. And it comes free on this side for Matt Bartkowski. He's trying to hold it in. Gotch does just that. And then it's sent back on the goal for McQuaid. Back to Bartkowski. Ott in on the forecheck, creating some havoc. And then Cole pinches in. Back of the goal, Laterra flies after it. And the Bruins send it around quickly, and Jackman can't hold it in. And now Jackman bothered at the line, but he gets it away. Then plays it back to center ice. But Darren, good intensity early on for both clubs.
As you would expect, 2 well-coached hockey clubs, 2 clubs that always play hard against one another, regardless of where they are in the standings.
Now the Bruins get it back for Chara. He's wide open. Shooting one. That's blocked in front. And now taken by Schwartz. For Tarasenko. Working on Chara. And a little backhander hit the back of the goal. And it's grabbed by Schwartz. Off Backes' glove. And the 18-year-old Pastrnak to center ice. Oh, and then Caron hit right in front of the Blues bench on Schwartz.
Yeah, a couple of big hits so far for Caron in this hockey game, but the Blues could do themselves a favor here playing against the young goaltender's first NHL game to get some rubber on him.
And they'll try right here, but Oshie in front can't get a shot. And now back on the line, Pietrangelo. Lindbom, a drive, tipped on goal, and a save by Subban as it hit a body in front. Then he was tested for the first time in his NHL career. No score, first period.
Now the St. Louis Blues with a 37-16-4 record. And there's a great view here at Scottrade as we take a look at our Toyota keys to the game. And it's early on, and dig in and set the tone early on. There's been some good flow to it, but obviously a power play by Boston gives them a slight advantage. But when you get into the offensive zone, one of the things you want to look for here, their D has changed a little bit. You want to get that puck going east to west. Really use the width of the boards. In their last game, there was a couple of situations where overloading on the puck carrier, leaving the weak side of the ice wide open.
And Hitch said to us, we need to get back on our toes again and attack. He said, we're not good when we're flat-footed or going backwards.
Nobody is.
And speaking of going backwards, Steen goes down. Now the Bruins get it, Marchand. And ahead for Smith. And then Bouwmeester cuts across near the Bruin line. By the way, that was not a shot on goal before we went to break there. So the Blues do not have a shot on net. Now Bartkowski right in the slot, a shot. Great pad save by Allen. And it's loose, and a big skirmish and a pile of players in front of Allen, and we get the whistle.
And with that skirmish in front, you saw Bergeron kind of pull out there in case the puck popped into the slot area. But Allen does a phenomenal job with a little help from his friends right here. Good give and go there by Marchand and the center iceman Bergeron in that save, an old style kind of toes up kind of kick save there. Keep your eye on the skate blade there and the toes up left pad save there. Pietrangelo right on the doorstep as well, and then it becomes a hot potato, finally covered up. And you see the chemistry there between Brad Marchand and Bergeron. They're good in that small area of the ice, good give and goes, and then they got Riley Smith on the right side.
Now it's Lehtera against Soderberg. For Soderberg, a former second-round draft choice of the Blues, traded to the Bruins for goaltender Hannu Toivonen. And the Blues get the face-off and clear to center ice. And Big Z, as they call him in Boston. He did not play against the Blues back in Boston in that 2-0 victory. In that game, the Blues outshot the Bruins 33-17, but Tuukka Rask, Darren, was sensational.
Yeah, Tuukka Rask was brilliant in that game, winning 2-0. He started 15 straight games. He's played 24 of the last 25 games. And this is the goaltender that signed an 8-year, $56 million deal. He finally gets a break, and he gets to watch Malcolm Subban, a very active, very athletic, a good puck-handling young goaltender. Played for the Belleville Bulls of the Ontario Hockey League.
And of course, he has a couple of brothers who play, PK in Montreal, and his younger brother Jordan with Belleville in the Ontario Hockey League, a draft choice of the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, all Belleville Bulls. It's a proud moment for the family, that's for sure.
Gary told me today his mom and dad were coming down to the game from Toronto, so that would be exciting for young Malcolm.
Absolutely. Trying to find them.
And now it is Dougie Hamilton for the Bruins. And that pass tipped down by Eriksson. No icing here. Shots 5-0 Boston.
Little swatting going on there between Kelly going for a line change and Jaden Schwartz as well.
And that's lobbed in by Gunnarsson. Into the corner, Berglund gets it. Had a man wide open in front. That was Stastny, but he couldn't get it there. Rather Cole. And now the Bruins take over. Here's Krug for McQuaid. Now Krug again. And that goes by Krejci's stick. And an icing call against the Bruins. Well, there is still time to get your stretch run packs. Packs start with as few as 7 games and for as low as $26 per game. You'll also guarantee yourself playoff purchasing priority for this year's playoffs. Blues ticket reps are taking your calls through the second intermission. Call 314-622-BLUE or order online at stlouisblues.com/stretchrun. Bruins win the face-off, but it's not cleared. And now Berglund to the line. Picked off by Lucic. He was right there. And Pastrnak, the rookie from the Czech Republic, played in Sweden last year. He wears 88 now for Lucic. And the Blues take over and slide one to center ice. Well, Darren, so far the Blues are making Subban's NHL debut rather easy. No shots on goal. And now Jackman ahead. Here's Gotch. And then Yashkin checked to the Bruin line. And it rolls to Bartkowski. There's Gunnarsson back to get it for the Blues. And it comes around. Seidenberg pinching there. Hit there by Ott. Now the Bruins work it back to Bartkowski. A drive. And Allen very aggressively gets the blocker in the way. And chopped by Reeves. And walked along by Ott. And now rifled in by Reeves. Subban can't block it back of the goal. And now Marchand off the boards and out. Pietrangelo in for Backes. And he can't get by Bartkowski.
A good second effort, though, by Backes, just to hold Bartkowski for a split second. Enough time for Reeves to get on it.
Now Smith off the boards. Here's Bergeron. 3-on-3 to Marchand. In on goal, and he scores off Allen's glove. And it's 1-0.
Odd-man break going down the left side. Easy entry into the zone by the Boston Bruins. And just a wrist shot there that Jake Allen looks like he's in good spot. Looks like he feels like he's got this puck and seemed utterly surprised that it glanced off the cuff of his glove right here. From that distance, off the cuff of the glove, it turned his hand. Just enough momentum for that to go in the net. You see Marchand wants to fire that puck so it doesn't get deflected. And as Jake Allen or any goaltender at this level will tell you, that's one that he's got to have.
And Marchand with the goal, his 17th.
Well, the Blues had it in the offensive zone for a couple of little dump-ins there, and they have not been able to have any sustained pressure, though, JK, in the offensive zone so far. It's been really one and done, and have not tested goaltender Malcolm Subban at all.
And we're past the midway point, and now the Bruins lead 1-0. And Laterra back to get it against Chara. And Hamilton has it for the Bruins. Up the middle, that bounces into the blue zone. And now Cole, bothered there. Soderberg gets it, and he can't center it. Bergeron and Smith get the assist on that goal by Marchand. And it stays in the zone. Kelly a drive and a save by Allen. This time he has it in the glove. So a bit of a fluky goal by the Bruins. Marchand at 10:42. It's 1-0 Boston.
The Subban clan have got a 1-0 lead in Malcolm Subban's first NHL start. And so far they've seen Brad Marchand fire one down the other way. They haven't seen much sustained pressure against Malcolm at this particular point. As I mentioned before, though, a very, very affable family. I mean, they are as outgoing as it gets. They're a spirited family, and Malcolm's got a lot of athletic ability. When you watch this young man get in the net, he can go side to side. He does the splits. I was talking to Tuukka Rask about it, John Kelly. He says he'll just get in the net right away and just start doing the splits. Like, hard to do without getting hurt.
Yeah, I would say. So the Bruins lead 1-0. On the goal by Marchand from Bergeron and Smith on our Plaza Tire Service scoring summary. And the Blues fire the puck to center ice. And now Petteri Lindbom. His 10th game this year at the Blues. Has played in 41 this year in the minors. And 17 points for Lindbom. Now Oshie on the wing. And then dealt in deep by Yashkin. Centered. Oshie was right there, but he couldn't get the pass. And Lucic to center ice. And a hit behind the play by Yashkin draws the attention of the Bruin bench. And walked along by Goldmeister. Now Pietrangelo. And from the wing. And there's the Blues' first shot on goal. And a bit of Bronx cheer from the big crowd at Scottrade. Now the Blues get the puck to line. Stastny jabs one toward the goal. And now Char for Hamilton. And out at center ice, a good back check there by Stastny. And the Blues have it with Patrick Berglund.
Yeah, Berglund was about to play it up to the wing, and Yashkin's going off for a line change there.
And then tipped around by Stastny. Subban to the corner. Blues hop on it. And thrown back to the goal by Ott. And now for Reeves on the cycle to Ott. And then it's picked up by Gregory Campbell. Campbell checked by Gotch. And it comes free for Seidenberg. And this goes up the near wing, all the way down. And it does go far enough for icing. BMO Harris Bank wants you to show your sign in support of the Blues. Tweet a picture of you and your sign to hashtag BMO Blues Sign Contest for a chance to win Blues prizes and have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. Visit BMOHarris.com/Blues Sign Contest or visit a local branch near you. Now Laterra on the faceoff against Campbell. Blues get it back. Lindbom for Tarasenko and a drive off Char's leg in front. And picked up by Brian Ferland, making his NHL debut. He's out of Cornell. So two Bruins in their first NHL game tonight. Subban and winger Brian Ferland. And the Blues come in. Schwartz trying to go wide on Bartkowski. Can't do it. And then whipped around by Bergeron. Now Marchand at the Blues line. And then checked by Goldmeister around for Pietrangelo. Up the middle, that's tipped along by Schwartz.
It seems like the timing has been off here. Getting the puck in deep and going for a line change, you're not creating any kind of sustained pressure whatsoever.
Well, Sunday, the best drivers in the world will push themselves and their cars to the limits in the 57th running of the Great American Race. Be there as NASCAR drops the flag on another season and catch the Legends' last ride as Jeff Gordon begins his final year behind the wheel. The Daytona 500 begins Sunday at 11, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Now Bouwmeester a drive. That goes wide, comes right in front. Steen couldn't get a stick on it. And now Louis Eriksson, the longtime Dallas Star, his pass blocked by Oshie. And then moved back in by Steen. And then Char trying to clear it out. Kept in by Bouwmeester. Here's Steen, nice reverse hit back of the goal, but then he is hit by Kelly, who has lost his helmet. Now Pietrangelo from the right side steers it back to the goal again. To the captain, Backes now to Bouwmeester. And trying that bank play off the boards, but Char read it well. And the Bruins have possession. And Bartkowski for Chara. And he was knocked down by Backes on a good open ice hit.
Fans are just chomping at the bit to get into this hockey game, aren't they? Waiting for the Blues to come on and put a little pressure on the Bruins.
Oh, Cole goes spinning down. Lucic knocked him down to the ice. And it's centered, but a good stick by Berglund to break it up. Under 5 to play in the opening period. The only goal by Marchand at 10:42. Bruins center it. No one is home there, and now Berglund walks it the other way. And now goes back in his own zone for Cole. And the Bruins just clogged that neutral zone with 5 players. Tipped in by Berglund. And Stastny back of the goal, canceled by McQuaid, grabbed by Yashkin. And trying to work off the wall, nice play for Lindholm, a drive on goal, and a save by Subban.
Patience shown by Lindholm on the point there, bringing it to the middle of the ice after a good play by Yashkin.
And then Lucic will tip it back of his own goal for Krug, who was signed as an unrestricted free agent. Lucic to center. That's picked off by Laterra. And then Schwartz. And his shot and a pad save by Subban. And now back of the goal, Tarasenko trying to get there. Pietrangelo races in. And now Schwartz, deep slot, Tarasenko winds and fires. And that just missed up high. And now the Blues, Laterra is knocked right into the Bruins' goal. And we get a whistle. 3:47 left first period. And the Bruins with a 1-0 lead.
Well, not often you can find a guy 6'9", 255 pounds and play the way that Zdeno Chara plays. So when you're able to get a good hit on him, you know that you've done something well. You put yourself in good position, and maybe Chara's off balance a little bit there, leaning to the far side. But right after that, a good chance as Lucic takes down Yashkin, but a good shot by Terry Lindholm on net. And a big rebound comes up right in the slot. No one there to take care of that.
And the Blues' last 11 games at home, they've been outscored 12-6 in the first period, including tonight. So they have not started with a lot of gusto here at home, at least in the last couple of weeks. Now it is thrown in deep by Oshie. Back as a hit, puck in the slot. And Steen a shot with a rolling puck. He put it high off the glass. And that was the Blues' best chance in the game. And now Bergeron 3-on-2 to Marchand. Trying to funnel one through the legs of Pietrangelo. Ends up in the corner. Now Smith. Back for McQuaid. That shot tipped on goal. And Allen read that all the way and made a good save.
Well, this Bergeron line has had 2 odd man breaks. One results in Marchand's goal, and that's a clean 3-on-2 there. So that tells you that the one forward of the Blues got to get himself in a better position, make sure he's in a better defensive position, and then make sure that their tracking and reloads are better as well. So Marchand has a chance to shoot that puck like he did in making it a 1-0 game, but instead he kind of tries to gently feather it over towards the net for a little redirection there on Jake Allen.
2 good face-off teams in the game. The Blues are tied for first, and the Bruins are third in the face-off department. And the draw is won by Gotch. But now the Bruins center it. Tipped away to the line. Krug a drive. Off a stick wide. And now Eriksson down low. Leaves it for Soderberg. That shot wide by a couple of inches. And Kelly is after it for the Bruins. For McQuaid a drive. That was tipped again and just wide. Well, the Bruins getting a lot of wide-open point shots in this opening period. Now Soderberg.
They're doing a good job keeping it down low and then punting it back to the point.
And Soderberg drifts out high now for Eriksson. Pinned by Bouwmeester. Now McQuaid tips it across to Krug. Krug a drive, tip just wide again. That one by Soderberg.
What a smart play there by Krug. He scored a goal in their last game on the backhander there. He tries to play it off to the side to Soderberg. And now, after the St. Louis Blues had a couple of offensive zone faceoffs because of icings by the Bruins, now the Blues a little tired in their own zone. They ice the puck there. Timeout being called here with 2:02 left in the first period. The Blues will call the timeout. There's the redirection by Soderberg, and in the opposite direction to the left of Jake Allen. So Ken Hitchcock's got a situation with his fourth line on the ice. Tired grouping there, and a conversation between Ryan Reeves and Ken Hitchcock, while Claude Julien, he's got a good opportunity here. Change his lines, put on his top line. As I just saw Bergeron over there kind of lean over and look to see who is exactly on the ice for the Blues. So right now they'll leave David Krejci out there with Big Zdeno Chara and Hamilton. Milan Lucic following up there, and I'm sure he'll go to the front of the net here. Big face-off here for Marcel Goc.
He won the last draw in the zone against Krejci. And Krejci wins this one. Hamilton to Lucic, and a shot rattles wide of the goal. And now it comes around for Reeves. He goes back in his zone, and now for Pietrangelo. Gets some help from Goc, and that's tipped away by Ott. So good job by the Blues' fourth line to relieve the pressure. Long stretch pass to Lucic. Through some legs, taken by Laterra. And now it's Schwartz coming in for the Blues. And Schwartz blows a tire in the corner as he loses an edge. Now Schwartz back on his skates, but it's tipped to center ice by the Bruins. Lindholm hammers it back in with 80 seconds left in the opening period. Blues down by 1. Schwartz and Laterra. And they get it free. Back for Gunnarsson, a shot. And that's off a body in front. Karam's all the way to center ice for Marchand. Down is off wing against Gunnarsson. Now in front for Bergeron. Marchand again. And that shot tipped to the corner. Now back for Bartkowski. In the final minute here in the first period. And Steen forced all the way behind his net. And leaves it for Lindholm. And now the Backes line on the ice here as Lindholm gets to center ice. Oshie after it against Bartkowski.
That's a smart little dump in right there by Lindholm. Put it in a good area.
Now back for Jackman. Steen off the wall, a shot. And that may have hit Oshie in front. And then Backes against Seidenberg. And I think the Blues captain is going to get nailed for hooking.
Offensive zone hooking minor, and looked like David Backes looked back to the veteran Dennis Seidenberg. Question in the fall there, but you can see the reach in right there into the hands, and the legs spin out from Seidenberg going down rather easily. First opportunity was a direct result of the Petteri Lindholm, recalled from the American Hockey League Chicago Wolves on a good dump into the soft side before he came off for a line change.
Bruins 0 for 1 with one shot. Stastny wins the faceoff from Bergeron. And Pietrangelo wields it up the middle and all the way down the ice. 15 to go in the period. And Dougie Hamilton back in his own zone. And now Bouwmeester surrounded by 2 Bruins. Bergeron gets it free to Hamilton. A shot. Rebound to Krug. And that was blocked by Pietrangelo. And the horn sounds. That was dangerous.
That's a big block there by Alex Pietrangelo. Big block. Blues with only 3 shots on goal in the opening 20 minutes of play.
And the only goal by Marchand at 10:42. Let's go to Pat and Bernie in the Fox box.
All right, John Kelly and Darren Pank, thank you very much. Bernie, we started out today on the pregame show Blues Live talking about the Blues' slow starts at home over the last 10. Well, now that's continued in the 11th straight game.
Yeah, they've been outscored now 12-6 in the first period. So that is for, a concern. And but we keep talking about the desperation, Pat. It was the Dallas Stars very desperate coming in here on Tuesday. Now the Boston Bruins are desperate.
Right.
Pittsburgh Penguins are going to be desperate tomorrow, too. So very difficult right now. But, again, you're only down by 1. So they do have to get something going, though, Pat, because it gets pretty pretty urgent when you kind of playing your end too much.
Right, exactly right. So they're down 1-0. It could have been worse, and yet they still have an opportunity. Coming up next, the St-Paul GM Country Intermission Report. You're watching Blues hockey, of course, on Fox Sports Midwest. Stay with us.
Brad Marchand, the only goal. The Blues outshot 8-3 in the opening period. As we are between periods, ready for the second period. John Kelly upstairs, Darren Pang downstairs. And Darren, you mentioned a couple of times in that first period that the Bergeron line had a few odd man rushes, and one of those led to the only goal.
Well, it all starts out with a pretty good dump in, and fourth line right winger Ryan Reeves comes back for a line change. So still in pretty good position here, but a quick little pass, and once this 2-on-1 develops, at this point I'm sure Pietrangelo sees a white sweater to his left, so he knows he has to respect the puck carrier. Can't over-challenge Marchand, and then you take a look at this shot. I thought the goaltender Jake Allen, and when he looks at this again, I think his positioning was a little flat, not square to the shooter, but the bottom line is it goes off the cuff of his goaltending glove, kind of turns it a little bit, and a shot that really should have been stopped ends up going into the net.
And that is Backes in the box for another 135. Blues hockey sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bruins on the power play. Bergeron into Krejci. Now Krug across for Hamilton. And Hamilton in the slot. Krejci back to the line. Here's Dougie Hamilton, comes in front, loose puck. Bergeron to the backhand, and he lost the handle. And now Bergeron pressured by Oshie. Dealt back to the goal for Eriksson. And now around to Krejci to Hamilton, a shot. That hit Bergeron. Bruins keep it moving, though. Hamilton again. Krug off the wall, a shot. That blocked. In the slot, Oshie upended. And a tripping call against the Bruins.
After the Bruins had very good puck possession for Claude Julien's team, led by Bergeron in the middle of the ice. A good little give and goes. And a tripping minor on David Krejci. As you take a look at Oshie there, the right skate clips the left skate, and it is clearly a tripping call as Krejci's trying to go towards the puck. That skate obviously dragging a little bit far behind him, and TJ Oshie ends up right on his backside. And Bradshaw showing some direction. Of course, Bradshaw runs the penalty kill for the St. Louis Blues, and that part of the game has been climbing.
Now drive by Lindholm. He scores! First NHL goal!
Lindholm had a good scoring chance in the first period, and this one here on the one-timer, he's able to bang home his first NHL goal. Face-off win by Jaden Schwartz to Gunnarsson. Your classic D-to-D play. And Malcolm Subban looks like he's got it. It's fluttering. His hands are ahead of him. He thinks this is in the webbing of his glove. And then it pops up, hits his rear end, and right into the net. Good for Petteri Lindholm. He's been playing real well in the American Hockey League, learning the game here at the North American level instead of playing that 100 by 200 ice surface in Finland, and he adds a competitive spark to this hockey club. He's a feisty competitor.
Had 6 goals in the American League, his first NHL goal here at the 48-second mark, and we're tied at 1. That goal came with each team a man short. And now Lindholm to center ice. Trying to hit Steen, that goes down the ice. And a nice call it there. It's almost crazy how both goals really should have been caught by each goaltender.
Yeah, there's no question about that. As we take a look at the face-off win, and obviously Lindholm's over here getting himself set. See him backing up, and he's able to get it beyond the first player. And does this glance off? Boy, it's knuckling, isn't it? Just a knuckler, and the goaltender Malcolm Subban maybe is a little deeper in his net. If he's out a little bit further, maybe it hits his glove and doesn't hit his back and go in as easily as it does right there. Hard one to read, though. There was some traffic in front of him, and it was just moving ever so slightly to his left.
And Gunnarsson and Schwartz get the assist, and the Blues tie the game. And Backes due back in 5 seconds, and the Blues will get their first power play of the night. Here's Char's shot, and that one dipped her caught Allen off guard a little bit, but he makes the save. And now we get a face-off in the blue zone. Where did that hit, Darren?
You're right. It just dipped. It was also a knuckler from Zdeno Chara and changed direction just a little bit going downwards. They're hard to stop. I remember watching Yaroslav Halak work on what he called knuckle puck drills. And they're difficult. A lot easier when they're flat. They don't move around.
That's why the Niekro brothers are such good pitchers, those knuckleballs. So now the Blues in the power play. Their power play ranked third, 23.5%. Blues are 10th on the kill at 82.7. Here comes Oshie.
Referee warning Ken Hitchcock that change was too late, and it was. Bouwmeester comes off, and Backes went on a very late change.
Now Oshie out high for Pietrangelo. And he wanders to the corner. 4 forwards here for the Blues.
Got to really zip that puck around.
And the Bruins intercept, and it's ripped down the ice by McQuaid. Blues went 0 for 2 in Boston in that 2-0 loss back in November. That's broken up by Chara. And Allen wanders here. Puts it off the boards now for Pietrangelo. And 15 to go in the Krejci minor. And they give him the blue line. Now Pietrangelo feathers one in back of the goal. Oshie is there. And he gets into some open ice. Here's Oshie. He defers for Tarasenko to Oshie. And Krejci into the box gets the loose puck in a 3-on-2. And Oshie's one of the man back to Kelly in front. And Kelly's shot blocked by Oshie.
What a play by Oshie.
He looked like a defenseman back there.
Yeah. His dad, Coach Osh, is in the barn for tonight's game. He'll like that little block.
Well, Krejci again for the Bruins. And that's an offside. We get a whistle and a penalty here, I believe.
Yeah, got some minor penalties there. Dougie Hamilton is going to go off, their former first rounder. David Backes as well is heading off to the penalty box. So as Backes was going for a line change, the last man coming up is the defenseman Hamilton, and they were just a little whack and hack there as they went off. They thought they both got away with it there, but on the bottom left side, right down here, 1, 2. Pretty good swing at it right there, but didn't get much. A little bit of a whiff. But the intent of a slash was right there. Both sides, 4-on-4.
The Blues have gone 17-4-2 against Eastern teams. Tonight's game is the first of 3 straight against teams from the East.
And how about the Pittsburgh Penguins game last night? Watching Brandon Dubinsky and
Crosby
and Sidney Crosby go at it. Good tilt, too.
4-on-4 here as the Bruins enter the zone. And Krejci feeds the point. Long shot got through. From Krug and a save by Allen. In front and poked on to center ice. Look out! Steen saw his man coming.
Oh, Krejci looks like he's hurt.
And now Schwartz comes in the slot to Steen to drive. That's up high. Hit the glass and Krejci limps off. And now Steen down low. He saw him at the last second. Krejci will go right to the Bruin locker room.
You might have been able to hear it from the bench here. Barrett Jackman and the defense are right to my right, and they were hollering over at Steen, keeping him aware of that hit coming up to him.
Now in front, Bouwmeester wide open, set up by Laterra, and Bouwmeester shot high. What a chance there. Now Pietrangelo, and back to Big Bo. Pietrangelo, one-timer, he scores! Pietrangelo, and it's 2-1.
That's a pretty severe angle to fire that puck on. And after that puck had slid off the glove to make it a 1-0 game, this was the first real test for Malcolm Subban and Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo, who scores his first goal in his last 23 games. It's a severe angle, and the goaltender's gone down in the butterfly. And we'll see if that doesn't glance off the stick here of Bergeron. Yes, it does. Ever so slightly, it glances off the tip of the blade, just changes that direction. And you can see that reaction from Subban as he tries to spit out the glove in the left pad, but it already had beaten him.
Pietrangelo's 5th of the year at .416.
Interesting, at the end of the first period, the officials let Subban know that he's not allowed to have black tape at the end of his stick. It's a rule in the NHL, and he was obviously unaware of that. And I noticed here in the second period, JK, that he has put a strip of white tape there.
As the Blues have scored 2 goals on 2 shots. Now a drive by Seidenberg, and Allen fumbled that a little bit and makes the save.
It's a little bit of a fumbling night with the gloves on both of these fine young goaltenders. Here's a shot by Seidenberg, and you see it goes off the low part of the glove there on Jake Allen. And as I mentioned before, there it is there. The goaltender cannot have black tape. And in that first period, you can see there's Malcolm Subban. And right here, obviously at that end, you're not allowed to have it black. And earlier in the year, Ben Scrivens of Edmonton had used orange, and Daryl Sutter made them change it immediately. Became Knobgate in the NHL.
It was. As a kid, Subban was a defenseman like his brothers. His dad coached him. And finally, at age 12, his dad gave in and said, you can be a goalie. And Darren, he said he first started to really want to be a goalie by watching Don Cherry's tapes. Here's another goal. Take a 3-1 lead.
Holy jumping, what a shot from the sharp angle under the bar and in. And Tuukka Rask is coming into play. Oh, this is a world-class shot, though, by a kid with world-class hands. And TJ Oshie makes the play in the corner here, battling the puck, right back to Cole, and now it's a little give and go, and Steen gives it to him on a sharp angle, and it goes high over the glove. And you can see from their super slow-mo here, gets a lot on it, and again, a lot of the goaltenders, they get down on their knees, they kind of shrug, take away the percentages there.
And mom and dad looking on. A tough start to his career.
Well, never easy being parents of a goaltender.
No.
It's just so difficult. And, you know, you certainly feel for the young man who has one trickle off his glove, and then the one by Pietrangelo goes off the blade of the stick of Bergeron. And that one there is one he'll look at again, and he'll just really analyze where you are in the net at this level. It's such a big learning experience from the American Hockey League to here.
2 goals in 53 seconds. Oshie gets it. His 16th of the year from Steen and Cole. And the Blues, 3 goals on 3 shots in the second period and leading 3-1. Now Soderberg a drive. Kelly tips it wide. And now Tarasenko for Lindholm. And then for Gunnarsson. And the Blues off the boards to center ice. With Schwartz. And that rolls in on Rask, who, Darren, as you mentioned earlier, has played in 24 of the last 25 Bruins games.
Well, you know how consistent he's been. His goals against average right now is 2.36. That's the second worst of his NHL career. Second worst. I take that any day of the week.
I would think.
Wow.
Now Caron comes in. He is squeezed off the puck by Cole.
Well, they were also
fired around by Jackman.
And don't forget, they were down 3-1. Obviously, Edmonton's not a playoff caliber team, but playing pretty decent hockey at this point.
Well, Bartkowski stepping up on Yashkin, and it rattles him into the boards. And this is an icing call against the Bruins.
Yeah, Bartkowski gets a pretty good lick in there on Dmitry Yashkin. Seidenberg had a big hit right off the hop in this game against Jay Bouwmeester. And there Yashkin's going to come off for a line change. As Ken Hitchcock goes with 4th line here on this icing call, and there's that hit on Yashkin.
Darren, did he touch that puck? That was close to being interference. Now it is Reeves. And Jackman can't hold it in. That pass too hot to handle. Now Jackman hit it center ice by Campbell. Moves into the zone. Gotch. Oh, Reeves behind the defense. Good read by Gotch. And Seidenberg tipped that at the last second. Now Ott run down back of the gauge. Campbell ahead. Reeves a big hit. Now Gotch to Jackman. Gotch winds up and fires it high.
Oh, and Luch is looking at Reeves here. He wants a piece after Reeves took him down with that hit.
And now the Bruins to center ice. And Brian Ferland in his first NHL game. Allen out of the goal. Now ahead to Jackman. And Reeves crossing the red line. We have had some big hits in this game. And now the Bruins, who are winless in the last 5 games. On to center ice, Soderberg. Gets by Oshie's check. Now the Blues break it up. Here's Oshie. At center, in for Steen. Has a half step on his banner shot. And that's blocked by Rask. And now funneled back to the goal. Oshie, nice move, reverses course. To the line, Pietrangelo. And now for Bouwmeester. And that drive, and that was blocked. Backes the rebound, and he partially fans on that.
That hit Steen right in the face.
But the Blues have come alive here in the second. 3-1 St. Louis.
Well, welcome back to Scott Trade Center as we take a look at our Nissan.com checks of the game. This just happened. Ryan Reeves on big Milan Lucic. That was big saves in the corner here. Seidenberg takes one. Young Pasternak takes one there from Dmitry Yashkin. You would expect that in this hockey game. These guys know full well that there's not a whole lot of real estate out there.
And of course, Krejci left after a big collision at center ice. So the Blues leading 3-1. Goals from Lindholm, Pietrangelo, and Oshie. Marchand for the Bruins in the first period. And speaking of Marchand, here he comes. And a drive and a glove save by Allen. And we get a whistle.
Easy one there, but I'm sure for Jake Allen, he likes to feel that right in the webbing of his glove. He's had a couple, including the goal against, trickle off the blocking part of his glove, the cuff of it, as it turned it over, and then he had one go off the webbing early in this period. But here's Steen's kind of skating with one hand on his stick and pushing it ahead, and does not see where Krejci's coming from. And as you mentioned, Krejci was awkward as he collapsed to the ice and has not returned. I can't see from my vantage point, John Kelly, if he's on that bench or not.
Yeah, we'll try and get a report. Here's a shot from the wing. Allen goes down. Now Smith back to the goal. Trying to get to the front. Tipped off a skate wide. Bergeron to the line. Hamilton with it, a shot. Blocked in front by Backes. And moved along by Oshie.
Good job fronting that puck by Backes. We get word that Krejci is not on the bench.
And the Bruins break it up. Now Marchand across to Hamilton. Deep slotted drive. Good left pad save there by Allen.
Oh, that's an excellent save. That was right through the shin pads. A perfect screen, low and labeled inside the far post.
By the way, the goal by Lindholm, the first goal by a Blues defenseman in 12 games since Gunners had scored against Colorado.
And then Pietrangelo backs it up with one. His first in 23.
Now it is Lindholm for Gunnarsson. And up the board, Stastny there, tips it back on the goal, and Rask sets it up for Hamilton. And where's the puck? It's in the corner. And now the Bruins with it at the line, but kept in by Stastny.
Good support there by Stastny. Knows that Lindholm's trying to keep that puck in and pinch about 5 feet inside the blue line.
And now the Bruins coming up with it. Hamilton, high hoister to center ice, tipped by Eriksson. Soderberg to Eriksson, and Berglund on the back check breaks it up, and the Blues to center ice. Now Berglund for Yashkin. You got to keep your head up in this game. Now Yashkin deals one to the corner. And McQuaid up the boards, cut off by Yashkin. And he goes after it again. The Bruins back to break it up, and Eriksson on to center ice. And Ian Cole stops near his own goal. As we approach the midway point, McQuaid a hit on Yashkin. And again, I'm not sure if he ever touched that puck.
Yeah, me neither. And with the defenseman pinching like that, I'm not sure why that wasn't waved off, but nonetheless, the faceoff will be in the Blues zone. We've seen a ton of icings here. And there's that play there. Yeah, it was close from that angle. Obviously, you can't see it, but the defenseman going over to take down Yashkin. I guess from that angle, McQuaid wasn't as close as I thought he was.
Now Gotch against Campbell. The Blues won 67% of the draws in the first period. And that is chipped in by Yashkin. Against Steidenberg. And now the Bruins coming up with it. And worked by Burkowski, now for Campbell. Drops it off. And a pass by Pasternak. That goes in front. And the Blues take over, and here they come, Reeves. Now for Steve Ott. Here's Ott for the wing, a drive on goal, and a save by the Finnish goaltender Rask. And we get a stop at 9:34 to go in the second, and the Blues lead it 3-1.
Well, getting offense from your defenseman was a staple, especially last year from the Blues. And without Kevin Shattenkirk, we take a look at our Jim Butler Chevrolet.com powerhouse plays. It starts with Petteri Lindbom's first NHL goal, his second point, and then backed up there by a one-timer off a sharp angle from Alex Pietrangelo. It goes off of the stick of Bergeron and past Malcolm Subban, making his first NHL start. And unfortunately for Subban, and fortunately for the Blues, Subban has been pulled from this hockey game. 3-1 Blues leads.
Darren, their other goaltender, Nicholas Fedberg, he's been pulled in 2 of his last 3 starts. The Bruins are having some problems getting wins from the backups.
They were really looking for that spark here in this game from Subban, and thought long and hard about playing him in the game in Edmonton.
The game they lost in a shootout in 12 rounds. And amazingly, only 1 player scored in 12 rounds of shootout.
Well, you know this game is far from over. A lot of battles yet to be won here in this game against the Bruins.
Hamilton lobbed one back of the goal for Marchand. And now Bergeron, Chara. Hamilton again, a shot. That's blocked in front by Laterra. And then Hamilton is wide open. To the captain of Slovak, Chara. And around for Smith. Always trying to get somebody open in front. Everything on the outside here. Now Marchand with it. To the front now, and there's Smith. And he tipped it wide of the goal.
Good read there by Vladimir Tarasenko, following Smith right to the crease.
And a shot by Hamilton. Hit the skate of Tarasenko and almost carried him in. Boy, it's been a weird night for goaltenders. It's the Blues to center ice. As Rask leaves it for Bartkowski. And he is sniffed out by Ott. Now to Seidenberg. Rink wide feed. Soderberg. And he spins around in front. And that went right through the goal crease area. Eriksson was in the area. And now the Blues counter with Ott. Checked at center ice. Here's Eriksson to Kelly. For Soderberg. That shot blocked by Gunnarsson. And now the Blues with Steen up the boards. At the line, gets it by Bartkowski. Oshie. One-on-one on Eriksson. Now Oshie looks around, hooks one to the corner for Ott. Ott in front, and a shot right on by Lindbom, and a save.
Good read by Lindbom, following that up.
Oshie fakes the pass. Now works it to Jackman. To Lindbom, a drive. That's off Seidenberg in front. And grabbed by Kelly. And then stashed into the zone by Seidenberg. Bruins making a change here. Jackman. Didn't see a Bruin behind him. That was Ferland. Now Ferland at the line. A shot tipped on goal. And a save by Allen. And that was fired wide on the rebound attempt. Now McQuaid to Krug. And a drive. That goes high and wide.
Boy, Oshie was screening Jake Allen. That didn't miss by much.
And now Jackman. Pressured by Ferland. And Jackman, the veteran, goes down. It comes to Oshie. Oh, he is buried in the far corner. No call. And he gets up slowly. And just flips it out. And now we have a fight.
Terry Lindbom comes in
after
on
the Bruin player, Caron.
Yeah, Caron's had a couple of big hits in this game, and you got to love the way Petteri Lindbom has stepped in here for the Blues.
Good for him.
He did this all through camp, didn't he? I mean, not necessarily the fighting part, but he had an edge to his game, a competitive spirit. And these fans are loving the response. TJ Oshie goes down hard, slow to get up, and no hesitation whatsoever by Lindbom. That is good stuff. Caron fighting for a full-time position in the lineup. He's been physical, but here's the hit here. He kind of obviously gets Oshie in a position where Oshie is facing the boards, he's facing the numbers, and he just crunches them in there face first. And boy, Petteri Lindbom doesn't even hesitate. He understands the game. There's no question about that. Goes right at Caron and backing up his teammate TJ Oshie, and that's how you endear yourself to your teammates. A call-up. His first goal, scrap. He's looking for a helper. Now he's got a legendary Gordie Howe night here.
Well, you have 2 guys here, one in Lindbom who wants to play in the NHL like all young players. And he jumps in after the hit. And Caron, Darren, he's been a healthy scratch for 10 consecutive games, and he wants some big hits.
Well, I think Caron's played a solid game. He's a big body, finishes his checks. That's what he does. but I didn't like the way that last kind of push hit was on Oshie. I mean, it wasn't the most violent, but you still got a player that his numbers are facing you, and he's facing the boards, not turning right or left. But this doesn't surprise me whatsoever that Lindblom would get the instigator in that. I mean, clearly he takes exception to this hit right here by Caron, and so he goes obviously to Caron to start this fight, and so he will get the instigator.
And Oshie appears to be fine on the Blues bench. Here, and I'm not sure if the Bruins are going to get a power play because the faceoff is in the Bruins' end. And now they put 2 minutes up on the Bruins side of the clock. So, like you, I thought Lindblom might get the instigator, but it looks like the Blues are going to get a power play.
Yeah, good job by Oshie and Steen. They're letting Lindblom know what he did. A great team effort right there and backing up your teammates. I'm just looking over at the bench here to find out the minor penalties here. So we get Claude Julien's getting an explanation on that side of it from veteran referee Paul Dvorsky. Blues getting the power play, you mentioned, JK.
Caron gets the rough, but my question is, why did Lindblom go off if he only got 5?
Well, he would have got the 2, so that takes you out of the period.
Yeah, but again, Darren, I don't know if he even got the extra 2. That's unless Caron got 4, but I'm being told he got 2, so maybe Lindblom needed some equipment repair. Well, the bottom line is the Blues are going to get a power play. They're second tonight. And Lindblom is now coming back to the bench area, so it must have been equipment related. And Caron gets the extra minor. So a break for the Blues. Here's Oshie. Off Steen's skate. And now Steen after it, back of the goal. And that played around Oshie. Nice move on the wall for Backes. One-timer. That's blocked. Another shot by Backes. Blocked again by McQuaid. And Stastny feeds Oshie. And across to Steen. 5 forwards here for the Blues. We saw this on the road trip through Florida. Tarasenko. Nice pass to Steen. Steen a dry. Rebound. Oh, they score! Tarasenko! And it's 4-1.
Tarasenko makes no mistake here. Split-second timing, rifles it. The goaltender Tuukka Rask has 0 chance on this one here.
His 30th of the year.
The youngest Blue to 30 goals since Brendan Shanahan did it in '91. Shot off the skate, Backes in front of the net, and a gratuitous bounce, as you can see, go off the skate there of McQuaid, hurt him in the left ankle, and then right to Tarasenko, just rips this by. Tuukka Rask doesn't even know where this puck is at that point. Timeout going to be called by Claude Julien as he gathers his troops together.
Well, Rask quite obviously had no chance at all on that goal by Tarasenko. His first goal in 3 games, his 30th of the year.
Well, since 2004, see Brad Boyes had 43 and 33, and Steen last year with 33. David Backes a couple of times with 31, and now Vladdy Tarasenko. And again, the youngest 30-goal scorer since Brendan Shanahan for the Blues.
Yeah, he did it back in 91-92.
I'm still baffled about the penalties. I got to be honest with you. So Lindblom's back in the box.
So he clearly only got a major.
And his look on his face as he was coming back from the tunnel was priceless.
Because, Darren, I was watching the referees. There was not an original call after the hit on Oshie. And then he ends up getting the extra minor, does Caron. Well, the Blues will take it. And they'll take a power play goal from Tarasenko at 13:59 to make it 4-1 for the Blues.
Well, but Terry Lindbaum has been quite a story in this hockey game. He scored a goal. He backs up after Oshie gets hit by Caron. Goes right over there to Caron. And he goes to the box until the linesman looks at it, says, no, you're out. So now he leaves. And that's what confused us, obviously thinking that game misconduct. Now he's sitting there in the runway and he's told to come back. He goes back, sits in the box, and watches on the power play. Tarasenko scores 30th.
And he's back in the box. And the Blues lead 4-1. Soderberg with a shot. That was blocked by Gunnarsson. And Schwartz kept it off the boards and out. And Seidenberg will whip it right back in there. Allen sets it up. Now Ian Cole around the board. Schwartz tips it. And now Laterra for Berglund. Then it rolls away from him. And the Bruins send it back down the ice. Shots in the second period, 7-7. And Bruins have a 15-10 edge in the game. Tipped back to the goal by Pasternak. At the line, Hamilton. Wrist shot. That floats wide. And then it's Berglund stealing the puck from Pasternak. And now Schwartz to center ice to Berglund. And from the blue line a shot. Rask handles that one rather easily. Now Berglund back of the goal. But Chara has it for the Bruins. And a long stretch pass. Swatted the other way by Jackman.
And still no Krejci, so Gregory Campbell takes that spot on the line with Lucic and Pasternak.
And the Bruin player flips that out of play.
Take a look at our BJC Healthcare difference maker. 17-4-2 record against the Eastern Conference this year.
The Bruins against the West, 9-9-4. And Darren, as we said earlier, they are winless in 5. And entering the game, the Bruins in the final playoff spot in the East, but only 1 point ahead of Florida. And the Bruins and Panthers have 3 games to play, 2 in South Florida. Oh, now Krug dumps it in.
Oshie got a little piece of him.
There's Steen back defensively for Oshie. Now off the wall for Backes against McQuaid. And a shot by Backes tipped by McQuaid's stick. And this goes out of play.
Not much of a scoring chance there for Backes. You can tell that he felt that as well. Just trying to get it over top of the stick to maybe create a little bit of a rebound there. But off the stick and out of play, face off on the inside. Oshie takes it because he's the right-hand shot here with Backes to the right.
And the draw won by Bergeron, a 2-time Selke Award winner as best defensive forward. Now the Bruins into the zone. But Bouwmeester gets it back to the Blues. Tipped to center ice by Backes.
Interesting that Backes didn't take that face-off, and he left the game for a short period of time. So maybe he just doesn't have the strength to get on the face-off, and maybe that's why he didn't have it to fire that puck off the wing as quickly as he normally does.
Now the Bruins center it right in the goal crease area, tipped away by Bouwmeester. And now Marchand for Eriksson. To McQuaid a drive, blocked in front, I think, by Backes. And now McQuaid has it again, winds and fires it. And again off a body in front.
Boy, they missed that big bomb from the point from Boychuk, don't they?
Yes, they do. In addition, Kevin Miller hurt his shoulder in the last game. Here's the plus-minus leader on the Bruins.
Another defenseman that a lot of teams are looking at. Jeff Petrie got hurt in the same game. Unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. Much talked about at the deadline.
Here's Soderberg. Takes the scenic route out high. That shot blocked. And then Steen had it, lost it. To the line, McQuaid a shot. Rebound attempted. Oh, Kelly was there and it stayed out. But Allen got over and Kelly had a wide open net.
But it's going to be a delay of game penalty to the Blues. That puck being fired out of play after that save. Alex Pietrangelo, who has scored a goal in this game, just gets too much on it. Hoists it too high over the glass. and out of play. So 2 defensemen in the penalty box after this save on the redirection. Great save by Jake Allen with that right pad. And Kelly's on the doorstep, and he just misses because Gotch does a phenomenal job coming back. Petrangelo's got some time, and he rifles that high over the glass, just jumps on him.
And the Bruins 0 for 2 in the power play. They win it back. Krug to Hamilton. His shot, and caught by Allen, no rebound.
Jake likes that when he got square to that shooter by Hamilton. Anytime a right-hand shot goes that far to the right side, he's taken away the angle. So it doesn't become such a severe angle there as David Backes is moving around gingerly over there.
In some kind of discomfort. Bruins 1 for their last 11 on the power play. Here's Gunnarsson. Pressure from behind by Eriksson. Now back for Krug and drive. That was tipped, I think, by Schwartz wide. And David Pastrnak. Back for Hamilton. And then Krug for Hamilton. In deep for Krug again. Chased by Gunnarsson. And now Schwartz comes back to help out. Bruins swing it back to Hamilton and drive. Pad save. Allen rebound in front. And knocked to the boards. And Schwartz, a good stick there to break it up. And now on his knees, he turns and fires it down the ice.
Good second effort there. That's just hard work right there by Jaden Schwartz. And a good stick as well. But terrific save with the right pad by Jake Allen through traffic.
Under 2 to play here in the second, and a rather crazy carom there. It ends up on the back of the Blues goal. Mardi Gras month continues tomorrow against Pittsburgh. Come see live local bands, enjoy beer from the Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden, and eat Mardi Gras themed food. The gates open 90 minutes before face-off, and the party is free to any Blues fan in attendance. Tickets start at $29, and all-you-can-eat seats start at $39. Go to stlouisblues.com/Mardi Gras and buy your tickets today. Crosby and the Penguins in town tomorrow night.
You see that Rick Tocchet, Bill Guerin, they're here up in the press box.
Former Blue, Billy Guerin.
Billy Guerin, yeah. 2 great guys in the game of hockey. Good to see Rick Tocchet back behind the bench.
And we're going to see our buddy DP57 tomorrow night.
And Gary Agnew as well.
Yes, former Blues assistant coach.
Coach for Mike Johnson. Rick Tocchet's also on the bench, so. Yeah, DP57's DP39.
Yeah, he's changed his number.
Oh, he's found a nice combination there, hasn't he? That's a terrific line there with David Perron and Chris Kunitz and Sidney.
Now it's Gunnarsson, fights off a forecheck, and he shoots it high and down the ice. 15 to go in the Petrangelo delay of game minor. Now Chara for Steidenberg. In on goal, big rebound, but right to Gunnarsson, and that bounces all the way down the ice. In the final minute here in the second period. Petrangelo's out of the box. The Bruins had 2 shots on the power play, but now 0 for 3 tonight. And Bouwmeester for Jackman.
Yep, 3 defensemen on the ice, so Petrangelo play the right wing for now.
And he gets the red line and now heads off. Bartkowski for Seidenberg. And up the middle for Gregory Campbell. The son of longtime executive Coley Campbell, and of course a former player himself. Now it is Ferland back of the goal. Right point Seidenberg, and he stands on that shot. And now Ferland against Bouwmeester. That comes around for Hamilton. In the final 10 seconds here, broken up behind the goal by Cole. And a good play by him. Oh, Tarasenko was behind the defense, but it bounced on him. And now he is hit by Kelly, and now cross-checked by him, and another Bruin comes in.
Yeah, and Steen comes in right away. Tarasenko braced himself for the first hit, balanced it out, but then Kelly came back at him, kind of just a slight little cross-check to the midsection there, and you can see that Alexander Steen just beelined it right to him. So good sticking up for one another in this hockey game by the Blues. Terry Lindbaum sticking up for TJ Oshie midway through, and now that one there.
Blues lead 4-1 after 2. Good game tonight at Scott Trade Center. Let's go to Pat and Bernie.
All right, John, yeah, what a period it was for the Blues. They score 4 goals in total, Bernie. They go 3 goals on the first 3 shots of the period to chase Subban in his NHL debut.
What a period. What a difference a one period or one rest can do, Pat. But really, 3 shots in a row, as you said. And you know what? You have to feel a little bit for Subban, but you can't. The Blues really didn't get their first shot on goal until 11 minutes into the first period, and now all of a sudden they get 3 and 3, and then a great power play goal. Good rebound as Tarasenko gets his 30th. So not a lot of shots in this game, so we weren't going to say this is great goaltending by any means, but the Blues are on the right side with a 4-1 lead.
Well, I'll take it. Any way it can come, you'll take it. Leading 4-1 the Blues with a Pietrangelo goal. Also, Lindholm, Oshie, and Tarasenko. It's the Jack in the Box Intermission Report, and it's coming up next on your home of the Blues, Fox Sports Midwest.
And the Dale Blue Band performing tonight, courtesy of Obi Clark's, as the Blues enjoy a 4-1 lead after 2 periods. John Kelly upstairs, Darren Pang as usual is downstairs, and Darren as usual, TJ Oshie is right in the middle of the Blues in a lot of areas tonight.
Well, backtracks and reloads are an important part of any successful team in how you come back in your own zone. And you know, the first part of the period there wasn't a whole lot going on, but then you see TJ Oshie coming up through the get back to his own, stick in the right lane right there, picking off this pass. Even though he's a little out of gas, he reaches out, gets a stick in the right lane, and then Alexander Steen ends up getting the puck in deep, and on they go. And here comes Oshie again in the high slot. The puck just bounces off his stick after the Tarasenko pass, but see where he comes to. He looks one way, there to his left. He looks behind him. He makes sure he knows where everybody is. He turns and spins, makes a terrific play off of a Kelly shot right there, blocking that before it even got to the goaltender, Jake Allen. So he's also added a goal and an assist in this game. And those are the little things in the game that make a line go or get the bench excited. You have to be willing to work the opposition coming back into your own zone.
The Blues are 23-1-2 and leading after 2. The Bruins when trailing 4-16. And teams are at full strength there to begin this third period. Marchand comes in. He has scored the Bruins goal. And then Oshie knocks Bergeron down. Now Marchand digs in back of the goal to Bergeron, a shot. And that was blocked, I believe, by Pietrangelo.
Yes, you were exactly right. He read that pass perfectly and got there just in time.
And now Steen ahead for Pietrangelo. Lobs it up the middle. Oshie is offside, or he might have been in the clear on a very close play at the line.
Amazing, these linesmen. how they can watch everything and call that an offside play, which was the correct call. Didn't get much of an argument there. Nice play there by Alex Pietrangelo with that soft flipper. TJ Oshie just has one final word there, trying to get that explanation from veteran referee Paul Dvorsky.
And now there's Letier, Schwartz, and Tarasenko against Soderberg, Eriksson, and Kelly. And Terry Lindholm. Tip to center ice. Lindholm scored his first NHL goal tonight against Malcolm Subban, who allowed his first ever NHL goal. When's the last time you saw that, Quinella? Now Lindholm ahead. Dumped in by Tarasenko. Dougie Hamilton back to get it now for Chara. His pass ahead, cut off by Tarasenko, and moved along by Schwartz. To Tarasenko, a shot, and a howitzer hit the glass. Can he get it away quickly or what? And Eriksson lobs it in there. Jackman back against Soderberg. And Soderberg wiggles free. And now Jackman comes back and makes a good play. Kept in by McQuaid. Blocked right to Krug. Shoots one. And a save by Allen through his legs. And that was close. Now McQuaid to drive. And a glove save by Allen.
Well, after the first few of the game and fumbled around the top of his glove, he's really come on strong here, making some good glove saves. Torrey Krug is just a nifty player, the former CCHA Player of the Year from Michigan State. And this has to get fought off there as Tarasenko comes sliding, gets tipped again there by Pasternak in front, and Soderberg's there as well. And you see the position at the end. Jake Allen doesn't quite know where it is. That last shot by McQuaid from my angle looked like it was going high, but you still got to snare that down anyway. Make sure there's no rebound hanging around.
Again, the Bruins lost Krejci in that second period. Here's a drive from the line.
It's underneath his pad.
And Allen makes a save on McQuaid.
It is underneath his pad. He thought it was in. So often you come across now and your pad gets sealed so quickly. Usually there's a juicy rebound on a play like this. This is a smart shot, but watch where the puck ends up. Oop, there it is. Just feel it under his left pad.
And from the faceoff, Lindholm back to the Blues. Bruins get it back. Krug on the line, and it bounces over his stick. But without Krejci, the Bruins forced to use makeshift lines here in the third period.
Slowed down by injury to begin the year. Same thing with Zdeno Chara. It's been tough sledding for this team that won a Stanley Cup back in 2011 against Vancouver in Game 7 on the road.
They haven't missed the playoffs since 06-07. Now it is Yashkin. Spins off Seidenberg's check. And play to the corner now for Mark Bartkowski. He's out of Ohio State. Blues intercepted Oshie the other way. 4 Bruins are back, so he dumps it in. Now thrown back on the goal for Steen. And then Backes comes in. His pass, but Cole off the bench. Couldn't get there in time. And it comes to center ice. Right back in is Oshie. To Steen. Back to Oshie in front. And diving to get a shot. He can't. And then Steen runs Kelly down at the blue line. And now the Blues again back in the zone. Here's Oshie. His pass to Backes. Now for Steen. No one's in front, so he has to drag the puck in deep. Kelly back defensively.
Yeah, Oshie would have been the third man up high in the high slot. He looked for him once, but Oshie went for a well-advised change. He was out of gas, and that's the right time to change for Oshie. Remember in the first period, all the line change coincided with soft dump-ins and then line change, so there was no chance to have any sustained pressure in the offensive zone. But this game has gone on. The Blues have been much better in that area, managing the puck.
Now the puck at center ice, grabbed by Reeves. And the big guy from Winnipeg gets it in deep. Now on the hunt. The puck comes near the front. That was blocked. Chara sends it around. Cole pinching in. Wraps up Marchand. And now it goes to the other side again for Hamilton. And the Bruins escape the zone. And Marchand trying to jump by Cole, but he got enough of him to knock him off stride. And now Marchand cross-checks Matera down. Penalty called on him.
Well, the referee closest to didn't make the call, but the furthest referee did.
And Tarasenko wanders in. On this delayed penalty, a shot. And a save by Rask, and now we get the cross-checking minor.
Blues have only had 11 shots on goal in this game against Claude Julien and the Boston Bruins, but we'll listen to the call here.
Boston 63 minute for cross-check.
Aaron, this to me looks like a penalty out of frustration.
Yeah, it wasn't the first one. It wasn't the second one. Referee actually let him get away, get away with a couple, and then that third one was just far too obvious. He got high right around the neck area.
Blues 1 for 2 tonight. They control the face-off. Pietrangelo now for Steen. And then Tarasenko. 4 forwards here. Tarasenko back for Steen. Now Tarasenko again, and a shot that was blocked. Oh, and then Pietrangelo in the corner.
Rask doesn't know where it is.
Yeah, it looked like it hit his pad and just carried him the other way, and now swatted down the ice by Eriksson.
He has not been heavily tested since taking over for Malcolm Subban in the second period.
Tarasenko has the Blues power play goal. This is Steen. He finds the seam, drills it back on the goal. Chara right back the other way, kept in by Steen, a drive, and that goes high and wide. And now Pietrangelo for Tarasenko. He'll tip it across and gets it back. Beats Steen again. Angles to the corner to Tarasenko, a shot on goal and a save by Rask. And now Tarasenko for Steen. Fakes it, Tarasenko off the wing, and it bounced over his stick.
Yeah, just a little too far ahead of him from Steen.
And then Steen again. Backes screens in front. Now Pietrangelo a shot. And that's off Chara. And fed down the ice by Gregory Campbell.
Imagine doing that in a 7-game playoff series, going in front of the net with Zdeno Chara just pounding away at 260 pounds. Backus did everything he could there to get himself in good position while taking a beating at the same time.
He would have a few bruises. Now Kelly, the rebound attempt and a shot. And a spinorama shot wide of Allen. And 20 to go in the Marchand minor. And the Blues in their own zone now. Bouwmeester for Schwartz. And he pulls up to make a play. Oshie rifles one to the corner. Laterra back to Gunnarsson. And Laterra again for Gunnarsson. Late in the power play. The Bouwmeester shot. And that's off a stick and out of play. And Marchand is back. The Blues one shot of the power play. And they lead 4-1. Now the Blues with the game in hand on Chicago. 3 points ahead. And of course the Blues trailing Nashville by 6. Predators finally cooled off last night on Long Island. And off the face-off, Lindbom. And then shot all the way down by Soderberg on goal. Allen had to be alert. And now for Petteri Lindbom, who has scored his first NHL goal tonight. Also a fight for the young Finn. Pass to center ice to Berglund. He gets a piece of this one, so there's no icing. And worked around by McQuaid. Pasternak to center ice now for Lucic. In against Cole. And now to the far side, Jackman there for Yashkin. Poke near the line. Now recovered by the Blues and banked off the boards by Stastny. And this is Adam McQuaid. The Bruins will wrap up their 5-game road trip Sunday in Chicago. Now back of the goal, Jackman and Bergeron battle. Puck ahead, kept in. Krug a shot, not a lot of mustard on that one, blocked by Cole. Here come the Blues to center, Reeves. He gets it in there now for Ott, a shot up high. And now Rask will throw it back of the goal for Krug. And Ott stepping up and a good open ice hit.
Big hit by Ott.
And now taken by Riley Smith. Seidenberg across. Steen on the ice. A lot of Bruins on the ice as well there. And then a hit by Reeves on Caron. And now funneled in by Pietrangelo. And Oshie will fire it back of the goal. Bouncing puck for Seidenberg. And the Bruins up the boards. Cut off by Backus. Seidenberg again reverses now for Bartkowski. Chased by Backus, and he escapes to center ice.
Good hunting there by Backus.
And now the Bruins are shot by Caron. Hit a body on the way through.
You're right. Sorry, John, on the back checking and hacking and whacking, but getting the stick and not taking a big whack at it.
Nice cross-ice pass for Oshie. And around for Schwartz. The Bruins back to break it up. And now Chara for Marchand. And then dumped in by Bergeron.
Yeah, Bergeron came off on a line change. He didn't have two hands on his stick. He did a good job just getting that down.
Now Ferland in front. To Bergeron, a shot. And that was blocked. I'm not sure if it got on goal or not. And Schwartz to center. And he lost the puck. Ferland now at his own line. And the captain Chara whips it in. Carl Gunnarsson. Marchand over there to get it for the Bruins. To the line, but that's picked off, and Schwartz 3-on-2 for Laterra. He looks around, finds Tarasenko, and the pass that was intended for Jackman. Right, it up, kept in by Tarasenko.
You're right, Jackman was sliding in on the weak side there, down at the top of the circles.
And both clubs make changes on the fly here. And Chara to Hamilton. Up in the air, Kelly knocks it down. And the Bruins rather play dump and chase. Ian Cole puts it off the glass and out. And now Krug for McQuaid. Eriksson comes in there for Soderberg. To the line to McQuaid. Krug is open. He gets it, a shot blocked by Stastny. Paid the price there. Kept in Kelly's shot. That was well wide.
Yeah, that stung the right foot there of Stastny.
And now Berglund pucks it back of the goal for Cole. And Stastny on the boards. Nice job to clear it away. As we approach the midway point of this third period. It's been a scoreless third so far. The Blues doing all their damage in the second. Lindblom, Pietrangelo, Oshie, and Tarasenko the goal.
This fourth line getting a little bit more ice time here with a 3-goal lead here midway through the third.
And Pastrnak knocked down by Pietrangelo. And that's to the line.
Important part of it too, John Kelly, with the game tomorrow night against Pittsburgh. Very, very odd back-to-back home games.
And a shot by Gotch, caught by Rask. Yeah, you got to roll 4 lines. Thinking about tonight and also Crosby and the Penguins tomorrow night.
Well, you're looking at the Emmy Award-winning John Kelly upstairs in the booth, and I'm down between the benches, but Derby night and Casino night is always such a big success for the St. Louis Blues. You may not recognize where John Kelly is, but if you look hard at this, there! John Kelly made like Seabiscuit there, while Chris Kerber is doing an interview with our good friend John Maroney from Taco Bell, and it was a big hit. Big hit. You got it. I thought you were good in the quarter mile.
You know, if you would have been there as my jockey, I would have won the race.
I've gotten too heavy to be your jockey.
Well, I don't think so. Now Marchand a shot. No, it was a lot of fun, and Darren, obviously a lot of money raised for the 14th fund in honor of our late great friend Doug Wickenheiser. Always a fantastic event. And a shot on goal. Allen stops Bergeron. And we get a whistle.
Well, this has been by far the most dangerous line. And obviously with the injury to David Krejci, that mixes everything up for the Boston Bruins. Injury early on in that second period. This one was fluttering a little bit on Bergeron. Just had a little flutter to it, but he is absolutely undetected right there in the most dangerous area of the ice. And he can't believe that he didn't get the Bruins back into this hockey game. Well, Marchand's had an effective hockey game, scoring the first goal of the game. He's set up a number of plays, but
and now on the face-off, Laterra gets it from Soderberg, and the Blues just shoot it down the ice, and this should result in an icing call. Well, tonight on Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1, is it time to be concerned about Jameis Winston's shoulder and our Adrian Peterson days in Minnesota over? Our NFL insiders get you up to speed. It's not always sunny in Philadelphia. How the Pacers got a huge surprise on Friday morning, and we'll have highlights from across the NBA and NHL tonight on Fox Sports Live. And Schwartz turns and rips one to center ice. And now Tarasenko. He plays it back in his own zone for Laterra.
But even on that play there, Petteri Lindblom knows that he's got a chance to take away his own blue line. He steps up there a good 3 feet in the neutral zone outside the blue line just to make sure he's got some terrific defensive hockey instincts.
And now Laterra had it, lost it. Eriksson gets it out. Now at the line, the Blues come back in 2-on-1. Schwartz to Tarasenko. Tarasenko, he scores! A rocket!
Laterra came back to the bench, looked a little confused on the defensive zone face-off, gets back out there on the ice still, and takes advantage for a second. Good play by Laterra, who takes a hit to make a play. And then that little shuffle step there by Schwartz. The defenseman, McQueen, goes down here, not sure why, leaving the most dangerous player on the ice wide open. And even though this is a flutterer, it beats Tuukka Rask high over the blocker on the short side under the bar and in. And that'll get the spirits of Vladdy Tarasenko hopping again. 2 goals in this game, his 31st of the year.
Maybe a bit of a change-up on Rask.
Yeah, for sure. Rask is expecting that to go to the glove side as a left-hand shot. To pull that shot on the strong side of your body, that's how you can tell as a goalie that it was fluttering off the blade.
Well, that was one player that Hitch mentioned to us before the game. He said, we got to get Tarasenko going again, and he has 2 tonight.
Well, he also said before the game, as far as Lindblom's concerned, that it really need his physicality, his competitive, heavy play that he has. And he's been very, very good.
So it's 5-1. Tarasenko from Schwartz and Laterra at 11:45. And the Blues have scored 5 goals on 15 shots. When's the last time you saw that? As Rask leaves it in the corner. Hamilton now for Soderberg. Tripped up there by Berglund. And a rather obvious foul there right in front of the referee.
Well, that makes that 5th goal all the more important.
City West 21 minutes for tripping.
As we know, in this day and age in the NHL, plenty of time left on the clock. As you can see, Berglund gets caught behind and he's reaching out. And he knocks down fellow Swede Carl Soderberg there.
And the Bruins nothing for 3 in the power play. They win the face-off back for Krug. To Hamilton. Wrist shot. And that's tipped away. Comes in front. Oh, wide open Pasternak. And he didn't shoot it.
Yeah, he's trying to play that to his left. To Bergeron with a hopping puck. Those are the ones that you want to shoot because the goaltender will find it unpredictable with it bouncing like that.
Only twice this year have the Bruins scored 2 or more power play goals in a game. They've struggled with the man advantage this year. And Jackman whips it around the boards. Oshie is there. And now it comes back to the line for Hamilton. Bergeron in the slot. Roughed up by Jackman. And now back to Krug, a shot wide of the target.
That's a good play by Jackman. He and Oshie kind of got confused there with that puck that was loose.
And now it's back on the line. Hamilton winds and fires it. And Allen bumped a bit, got a piece of it. Now it comes back to the line again. Hamilton tipped wide of the goal. And a penalty called here. And I assume it's against the Blues if the Bruins had the puck.
You know, I don't think, and this is what Jackman's probably talking about, is he would probably agree with the one part of the call, but he was taking exception to Eriksson on the goaltender. As you see at that point, the goaltender's down and awkward, and it was because of a collision with Eriksson. And that's why he's upset. You can see Eriksson's there, knocks the goaltender down with his right leg. It gets tangled in there as Carl Gunnarsson did kind of squeeze him there a little bit. Eriksson has to make every effort to get out of the way of the goaltender, and his leg got tangled up. So Barrett Jackman did what defensemen are supposed to do. They protect their goaltender, and he wasn't a happy camper.
Well, the Bruins are going to kill some time and pull an old Mike Keenan trick and change goaltenders because they don't have a timeout.
Yeah, good call, JK. But you can't huddle up for the big timeout right there as Malcolm Subban is in the net. And you're not able to do that. You're not able to do that. The referee's going over there and explain to them that they're changing their goalie. But just because you change your goaltender doesn't allow you to have a full timeout on the bench.
But he can take his sweet time in getting to the net. Now it's Pietrangelo. 5-on-3 for the Bruins for 50 seconds. Chara. And now for Bergeron. A blind pass across intended for Eriksson. That was a set play. They'll try it again. Bergeron to Chara. Winds and fires it. Saved by Allen, and the puck clear but not out. And now Chara again. This time Bergeron heads back to the line with 25 to go in the 5-on-3. Bergeron lobs it. Bit of a change-up shot blocked. And Steen gets it back to the Blues. And he wristed all the way down the ice.
Good timing with that too, because Chara was beelining right for him.
And 10 to go in Berglund's minor. Bruins to center ice. Bergeron flips it across to Eriksson. Now for Krug. Into Chara, the shot blocked by Gunnarsson. And near the goal line, kept up by Ian Cole.
Oh, good hands by Cole right there.
And Berglund's out of the box. And 50 left in Jackman's minor. The Bruins one shot on goal on the 5-on-3. Now Marchand back to the line to Chara. On the half boards, Marchand in tight, and a tight angle shot by Soderberg was wide. Now Krug across, one-timer again, and that goes off the glass.
What a pass by Marchand. What a pass by Krug.
And the Bruins to center ice, and the Blues break it up, and Berglund dumps it in. Good penalty killing by the Blues. 20 to go in Jackman's minor. And now Berglund at center ice. Trips up Hamilton. And now Gunnarsson back in his own zone for Cole, who may have saved a goal a few minutes ago. And that'll do it. Jackman is back. The Bruins only one shot during those two power play chances. And now Smith spins around. Smith a shot, and that's tipped wide by Lucic. And then taken by Steve Ott with under 4 to play in regulation, and the Blues leading 5-1. Looking to gain ground on idle first place Nashville. Then Tarasenko. Nice pass for Laterra. He flies in, and that backhander goes wide of Subban. And it comes around to center Jackman. Puts it right back in there. And now McQuaid for Bartkowski, or rather Seidenberg to center ice. And this goes in deep.
Yeah, they nullified the icing because Lindholm went and pinched there on Ferland.
Now it's centered. Here's Kelly dropping it back for Hamilton. And his pass comes to center ice. That's a break for the Blues. And now Bartkowski with plenty of time in his own zone for Hamilton. And he rips one in around the board. Jackman back there. So is Backes. And now on for TJ Oshie, who has picked up a couple of points tonight.
He put himself in a tough spot there. He tried to go back inside his own zone.
Now Campbell in front. Corona shot on goal and a save by Allen. And Steen on the near side. Jake Allen about to win his 6th game in a row. Here the Blues on man rush again. Oshie trying to hit Backes, and that was blocked at the Bruin defense. Missouri Lottery Blues Live comes up next here on Fox Sports Midwest. With 2:15 left in regulation time. And now Krug at his own line. Eriksson flings one to the corner for Soderberg. Cole is all over him. And now Kelly down low, trying to play one in front. Cole there. So is Yashkin. And it's chopped to center ice. And then Bartkowski into the zone. Cole gets it back for the Blues. Shots in this third period, 8-4 Boston. And 27-15 for the game, but you couldn't tell it by the scoreboard. Now Reeves back to the goal against Seidenberg. Reeves gets it away. And then for Ott, someone's lost a glove in there. Now across to Lindholm. And then a shot by Reeves off the stick of Bergeron. And that goes out of play. Well, the Blues have scored 4 goals and now 5, and with the McD app you can buy 1 and get 1 free Big Mac or quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's.
Well, maybe Cole deserves one of those, because here's some hands here after Allen leans to his left. It actually goes back off the skate of Cole, and just as it was about to cross the goal line, and it had plenty on it to do so, good quick reaction play there by Ian Cole. Nothing like a little Bruce and 10th Avenue freeze-out cooking here at Scottrade.
You know them all. The Blues had a season low of 18 shots against Tampa Bay back on February 3rd. And with 70 seconds left, they'll most likely have a season low tonight. But it doesn't matter. They have 5 goals on the board.
The one thing that Ken Hitchcock was talking about before the game about Boston was their trouble sustaining the tempo and the pressure. You know, it became appropriate.
Yeah, he said 30 minutes or so, and then they lose their edge, and that's what happened tonight.
You know, they're up in that game against Calgary and lost it in the final 2 seconds on a fluky one, and then they're down by 2, down 3-1 against Edmonton. They were able to come back and at least secure a point. It's just been one of those funny seasons for this team.
And their winless streak will be extended to 6. Now Seidenberg with 20 seconds left. And the 19,172 on their feet here. Yashkin for Lindholm. And then to Stastny. Back to Jackman, a shot, and that goes wide as Subban. And the puck taken by Lucic. That'll do it. Blues winning 5-1 over the Bruins.
Jake Allen now 10-2-1 on home ice. And he settled down after giving up that first goal to Brad Marchand. He made some terrific saves, a couple of great toe saves in that second period while the game was close.
And wins his 6th in a row as the Blues win 5-1.
Well, time now for our Bud Light player of the game as Barrett Jackman waves to his family in the stands. But on a night where Vladdy Tarasenko scores 2, we're giving our Bud Light player of the game to the Finn, Petteri Lindbom. Played almost 17 minutes. His first National Hockey League goal in 3 shots. And you got to love the way he jumped in there, John Kelly, in that scrap and defended his teammate, TJ Oshie.
Let's go to Tom Calhoun for tonight's 3 stars.
Fans, it's time to meet the Bud Light 3 stars of tonight's game. The game's 3rd star, scoring his first NHL goal and playing on defense for the Blues, number 48, Petteri Lindbom. The game's 2nd star, scoring 2 goals and playing at a forward for the Blues, number 91, Vladimir Tarasenko. And the game's 1st star, recording 3 assists in the game and playing in a forward for the Blues, number 20, Alexander Steen.
Well, quite a hockey game here tonight at Scottrade Center. And Alexander Steen's the 1st star of the game. The 3rd star, the Finn, Petteri Lindbom. Let's give Petteri a big hand. What a great night for you. Your very first National Hockey League goal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're not very comfortable doing these live interviews, but tell us a little bit about that goal and what went through your mind when you knew it was in the net behind goaltender Malcolm Subban.
Well, I got a good pass, and I just tried to shoot as hard as I can, and thank God you jumped in.
Well, it jumped in is right off the glove and a big goal in this hockey game for your first NHL goal. When you went and got in that fight in that period as well, defending your teammate, is that something that Blues fans should expect from Petteri Lindbom, a guy that sticks up for his teammates?
Well, of course, sometimes if they hurt up teammates, I need to protect them.
A game like this when you were behind, was there ever a time where the team was pressing a little bit, or did you feel confident in this game?
I think we feel all the time pretty comfortable playing this game, and we just believe what we're doing, and we got a good win.
Well, congratulations. Great work. Congratulations on your first NHL goal, Petteri.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Now let's go upstairs to John Kelly. John?
All right, Panger, thank you very much. And thanks to Petteri Lindbom with a great effort. Well, tonight's BMO Harris Bank Twit Pick of the game. And from Teresa, nice sign there. And to get your picture on an upcoming game, simply tweet a picture of you and your sign to hashtag BMO Blues Sign Contest. Visit BMOHarris.com/Blues Sign Contest or visit a local branch near you. Blues win 5-1. Let's go to Pat and Bernie.